What a lot of folks think is I have this large IRA, this large 401k, it's not Roth. You told me how the feds are going to tax it. A most common misconception is that you can just go jam all of your tax-deferred retirement accounts into a trust and not have to pay any taxes. That's not the case. Retirement accounts, we call them qualified retirement accounts. They cannot be placed in trust. What you could do is name a trust as a beneficiary. I'm going to recommend against that because that can cause you to pay higher taxes, not lower. So what can be put in a trust? Non-retirement assets. Your home. I don't own my house. Sounds weird, doesn't it? So I don't own my house. I have a revocable living trust that holds title to my house. So if I'm sued, well, my trust didn't do anything. So my trust, there's not going to be a judgment against my trust. My trust didn't do anything. So if somebody sues me, the trust is kind of off limits that way. There's some asset protection. So there'd be your house. You might put your vehicles in your trust, savings accounts at the bank, non-retirement investment accounts. Some people, we call them non-qualified because they're not a qualified retirement plan. People usually call these brokerage accounts, which is probably a bad name for them because a lot of folks anymore don't use stockbrokers and probably shouldn't. We're set up as investment advisors, so we have a fiduciary standard on securities accounts, and that we don't really think there's a room for a stockbroker anymore, but people can still call non-qualified accounts brokerage accounts. So any non-retirement assets, generally your attorney would tell you, or our attorney would tell you, we refer you to the attorney we work with the most, they would tell you generally any non-retirement asset should go into the trust. But retirement accounts cannot be retitled in trust. And also you do not want to benefit a trust with a qualified retirement account like an IRA or even a Roth IRA. On the traditional IRA, it would actually cause higher taxes in most cases because the trust tax rates are higher than the people you would leave money to. If you leave behind Roth money to the next generation, they have 10 years of tax-free growth after you're gone, and they cash out the money tax-free. They could cash it all. A Roth account, they could inherit it today and cash it out tomorrow. What we do is we sit down with the next generation and say, hey, what would be smart? You got $1 million Roth, take 100 grand and go do whatever you got to do with it. Buy a car, pay off student loan, pay for a wedding, buy a house. Maybe leave $900,000 in that Roth. Now it doesn't become your kid's Roth. We would have them do a direct transfer to an inherited Roth, and then under the Secure Act of 2019, they would have 10 more years tax-free growth, and if they were smart, they would wait the whole 10 years, get all that tax-free growth, then cash it out tax-free, then we'd do the next smart thing with it, the next tax advantage thing.